If we can suppress this Murden, we can invade into the Empire, right? I was in the Empire. Now I will be an enemy. I am having strange feelings. It is with ease that an ally turns into an enemy.
Things have gotten a lot more interesting since we've joined up with Judith, haven't they? Anyone who casually treats Claude like he's just some kid is not a person to be trifled with. I think Captain Gerald would have liked her. I hope someday I can be as strong, kind, and level-headed as her.
We came from the territory of House Daphne. It's not easy to leave one's home, but it had to be done. Judith asked us so earnestly, there was no way we could have refused. We can trust you, right? I'd hate to end up just another pointless death.
War isn't kind to you if you're a recluse. By the time you realize what's going on, you're already under attack. And if you're off by yourself, you can get killed with no one ever even finding out. Oh, that'd be awful. Just terrible. Okay, Professor, I get it. I know I'll have to come out.
I had an encounter with Lord Gwendol. How many years ago was it? Back before the academy, I met this girl who I fell madly in love with, and her dad tried to kill me. I suppose he just tried to scare me, but I was sure I was gonna die. Oh yeah, her dad? Lord Gwendol. Crazy, right? I never thought I'd seriously be trying to kill the guy in battle. I kind of don't know how to make sense of it.
The Great Bridge of Murden isn't just a bridge. It has the features of a fortress. I believe it was built for military purposes by the first leader of the Adrestian Empire. In other words, it's even older than the monastery. So if we occupy the Great Bridge, we'll have to search it from top to bottom.
Lady Rhea is in the Empire, isn't she? We should hurry up and find her. So many people in the monastery and nearby towns are worried. I want to ease their minds as soon as possible, Professor. Let's work together to find her.
I've been away from Garreg Mach for a while, but I came back when I heard the rumors of what you were doing. The scars of 5 years ago may still be raw, but it's nice to be back. Anyway, I'm going to start up business here again, so I look forward to your patronage.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I was talking to some of the Daphnal soldiers earlier, and it seems that Judith has a weakness. But they wouldn't tell me what it is. I got the feeling they didn't appreciate the question. Pardon me for being curious. That said, maybe keep this to yourself. Not that she terrifies me to my soul, but I'd hate to get on her bad side.
What used to be Eyre territory lies far to the east of the Great Bridge of Murden, downstream of the Aramid River. For the sake of my family, I wish we could invade the Empire from there. But I do not have the power to advocate for that. Strategically, Murden is more important. Yes, I know it would be difficult, but I will not give in.
On the north side of the Great Bridge of Murden lies the territory of Acheron of the Alliance, and to the south, the Empire's Burgleys territory.
Count Burgles has held the position of Minister of Military Affairs for the Empire ever since the days of Emperor Ionius. The current emperor seems to have brought the corrupt nobility to heel, but Count Burgles looks to be an exception.
So Lady Rhea was in the Empire all this time. Glad as I am that Judith told us. I wish we had known this 5 years ago. We spent all that time spread out over Fodlan, searching for the Archbishop and you. It was a mistake to abandon the monastery, to leave it in ruins. Now we're paying for that mistake.
We can predict what the Empire will do. Fargus is our real problem. The Eastern Lords have joined forces and are warring with the Dukedom. But I've heard nothing about that conflict as of late. It's strange. I haven't heard much from my father either. I can't help but find this silence unsettling.
It's thanks to you that I'm here now. I owe you, Professor. You saved my life. I swear I'll do all I can to repay that debt.
Since I'm originally from the Empire, it seems no one trusts me with any important tasks. Fine by me. Honestly, I'd bet they're watching my every move to make sure I can be trusted. I knew it. War makes people crazy, huh?
Judith is a wonderful person, so strong and confident as well. Looking upon her, I am sharply reminded of my mother. Very much so. Both brilliantly bright and positive, like a warm ray of light. I lost my mother long ago. I miss her desperately.
I would like to believe that I've always made my own decisions. Even so, I cannot deny that some small part of me has always been aware of my father's wishes. Now here I am, concealing our plan, Claude's plan, from his sight. Quite the contrary, honestly. I feel as though a fog has finally lifted from my eyes. In this fight, I will finally stand upon my own 2 feet, independent of my father's influence.
So, that was Judith. Just as I'd heard of her, she was an upstanding person. The same Daphne blood runs through my veins, and yet I feel as though I am nothing like her. I am but a phantom of what could be. If only I could be even half of who she is.
I don't know where he recruited that man, but Claude's got an eye for great talent. I'm talking about his retainer, Nardell. I've only spoken with him briefly, but he seems to have a fair amount of both brains and brawn, with the skills to match. But there's something about him I can't quite place, like I've somehow heard of him before.
I'd heard of the hero of Daphne, but that was the first time I've met her in person. She's the head of a prestigious noble family? Just like Claude. The Alliance nobility is so odd. Kind of, but I don't mean that in a bad way. You won't find such big-hearted nobles elsewhere. Plus, Judith can drink with the best of them. A woman after my own heart.
Thanks to all that food from Judith, I'm full for once. I've got so much energy. Let me at that great bridge of Murden. I'll bust it down myself. Oh, but then how do we cross?
It looks like people are slowly starting to come back to the town. I guess they feel safe now that you and the Knights of Saros have returned. Peddlers have become more common too, so there'll be food and supplies available. After being run down for all those years, it's really becoming livable again.
"5 years ago, when the Imperial Army attacked Garreg Mach, they moved with incredible speed. But in the middle of all that chaos, she still had operatives watching. The hero of Daphnal's spy network is impressive. She shouldn't be taken lightly."
The Aramid River separates the Empire and Alliance. It's the largest river in Fodlan. Sometimes it'll flood when there's lots of rain, but at least the land gets some extra water.
If our plan succeeds, we'll arrive at the Great Bridge of Murden unscathed. The important part is what happens next. We're evenly matched in terms of military power, more or less. So if we can just launch a surprise attack... Agreed. The bridge is basically a fortress, so the defense will be rock solid. But that's why you're here, Teach. No matter the odds, you're the wild card we need to win.
The year 1185 is almost over. From next month on, it will be the year 1186. It's just a date, of course, but it feels significant. I hope next year is a great one.
I'm sure you know this already, but House Ordelia is aligned with the Empire. They face the Empire from across a river, similar to the Gloucesters. Even so, I refuse to yield to the Empire a second time. The Empire did unthinkable things to my family, and to me. The only option here is winning. Professor, you must promise we will overcome the Empire.
Next, we face the Great Bridge of Murden. We actually crossed it a long time ago. Do you remember? It was 5 whole years ago. What are you talking about, Professor? It was on the way to the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Everyone was still friends then. After the fighting, we all ate together without splitting into our separate houses. I often wish we could go back to those peaceful days.
Legend says that pillars of light fell and ravaged Aelel. I was reminded of that when I saw it. Professor? Do you think those legends are true? Oh, I suppose you may be right. There's no way to be sure it won't. There are still so many things we don't understand in this world.
Hearing that the Knights of Saros have returned, the monks have also been coming back. We still don't have enough hands here, but we'll use all that we've got to rebuild the monastery. Until the day that Lady Rhea is returned to us, We have to do all we can.
Oh, hello there, Professor. Did you need something from me? It doesn't look like you're wounded or anything. You just looking for someone to talk to? Come on now. You don't have to be shy. Helping you feel better is important to me. Whether it's physical pain or worries of the heart, you can come to me for anything, Professor.
The battle at ALL was a tactical marvel. You grow stronger with each passing day. Where does your talent end and your crest's power begin? Are they one and the same, I wonder? Most intriguing. Yet it is quite difficult to draw useful conclusions given the situation. It is quite unfortunate I did not achieve my research goals before the war broke out. So much unknown. Now, I fear I will not have those answers even by conflict's end. So very frustrating.
If Rhea really is in the Empire, then we must defeat the Imperial army by any means necessary. The people at large are just as concerned for Rhea's safety as we are. The sooner we can settle all our unease, the better.
Gwendol, whom we saw at ALL, was once a renowned general known as the Grey Lion. And yet, as we fought him, it seemed like he was just looking for a place to die. Even if House Rowe, whom he served, is no more, he shouldn't have just given up on life.
We're going to invade the Empire, which means we'll be fighting people we know, won't we? If we're attacked by someone we know or used to think of as a friend, is it permitted to run away? Really? If something happens, will you keep me safe?
Is it true Lady Rhea was dragged off by the Imperial army? I heard that was true. Why'd they take Lady Rhea? Professor, they didn't take her to kill her, did they? Yeah, good point. If they did, we'd have heard about it by now. You gotta help her, Professor. I'm begging you.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Lots of things happen down here. Lots of reports need to be reported. And for all reportable things, I'm your guy.
Not sure what brought people back up above, but I'm glad for it. The dining hall, the greenhouse, they're all ripe for the picking again. I mean, for them. Good for them.
Invading the Empire at last, are we? I cannot still the wild palpitations in my chest. I have made myself ready to the extent that I could, but now that the day draws near, I fear that to proceed will be to abandon all hope of restoring the Imperial House of Nouvelle. Which leaves me with no choice but to appeal to you and Claude for that. My dream is in your hands.
House Daphne was kind enough to share their food with us. It may not be much in the grand scheme of things, but the gesture means a lot. The hero of Daphne is something else too, isn't she? Balthus seems pretty taken with her.
Damn. Who'd have thought that House Row would show up? They must have been sweating blood to get to Ayla from way out there. Guess it's been a while since I left House Row, so it doesn't bother me much to have to fight them. Kinda always knew I'd be the one to take that stubborn old donkey out. I've been ready for this.
Huh. That lady hasn't changed a bit since I was a kid. Still intimidating as hell. What a woman. Being me, I'm not nervous or anything. I'm not sure how to approach her, that's all. My luck, she'll treat me like I'm still a kid, even though I'm clearly a full-grown adult man. If that's the angle she takes, maybe I can get some nice hugs out of this. Huh? Oh, nothing.
I've never met someone like Judy. She's easygoing, but at the same time, tough as nails. I bet she'd be real fun to hang out with. Yeah, same here. But in a good way, you know? Judy's great. Unlike that other guy, Lord What's-His-Name. I can't stand people like him. People who think they're always in the right. All he did was make trouble, but he convinced himself it was for a good cause. So infuriating.
The Great Bridge of Myrden is in sight. Beyond it, the Empire.
What do you know? There aren't bridges that big in Elmira, that's for sure.
How unsettling. There are bridges in the southern part of Erdelia territory, but nothing like this.
It's the most strategic location in that area to move a large army across the Aramid River. The Empire will want to hold on to it at all costs, so expect tough defenses.
You're right. Their defenses are pretty impenetrable. Let's make our move carefully.
You're in command, Teach. Do whatever it takes to win. Well, other than sacrificing the lives of our allies for the sake of victory, try to avoid that. Let's get moving. We're counting on you, my friend.
Sight set on the Imperial capital, the Alliance army chooses to march through the territory of House Gloucester, supporters of the Empire. Under the command of Nardell, the retainer of House Regan, the defensive forces of Houses Regan and Daphne draw out the Gloucester troops. Thus, the Alliance army can continue its march toward the Great Bridge of Myrden and cross the Aramid River, which separates the Alliance and the Empire.
That symbol. It's an enemy raid. Stay calm and face them head-on. Send a messenger to Acheron immediately. If we're quick, we might be able to pull off a pincer attack.
They say the enemy general, Ladislava, is among Edelgard's most trusted. Let's see what she's got. Our goal is to take down Ladislava and gain control of the bridge. Let's go! Looks like we can capture this fortress quickly if we take out the soldiers protecting it.
Enemies approaching. Get the soldiers standing by to join the fight. We may need to hurry up preparations of the ballista, too. Protect the fortress! You think we'll let you take this bridge from us?
Whoa, new enemies from the central fortress? By the looks of it, that might not be all of them.
Acheron, now's the time to show your loyalty to the Empire. Attack the enemy from behind!
I've got to make my name known to Her Majesty through distinguished service.
Acheron the Weathervane. He's of the Alliance. He's a minor noble who holds territory to the north of Myrden. If he's going to support the Empire, no need to hold back. He's nothing but a nuisance, even to the Alliance.
We'll ally ourselves with the Imperial soldiers, too.
Thanks for making your way here. Annihilate the enemy with the rest of them!
The declining alliance will be finished if I kill you. The Empire will herald the new age.
Only if you manage to kill me. What's that to the north? Looks like the home of another opportunistic noble is burning.
That's my castle! No!
That's the declining alliance at work right there. Seems like you were facing the wrong way, Weathervane.
As they say, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not in for a beating, am I? I never should have allied with the Empire.
To repay Her Majesty's favor, I will not let you pass. Lady Edelgard! I'm sorry.
I'm glad we defeated them here. I doubt they're an enemy we could win against twice. Well done, everyone. The Great Bridge of Myrden is ours.
I was prepared for bloodshed, but that was more than expected. I guess I'm still not used to this.
Even our enemies were fighting for their own cause. They held out without fleeing until the bitter end. Yes, we can't afford to stall here.
Now it's on me to return to Alliance territory and convince those lords to join us. Lawrence, would you return home for the time being and lay the groundwork with your father?
Fine. After all, this is for the Alliance. Or rather, for all of Fodlan.
For those of you who live in Alliance territories, I ask that you return to your houses and spread the word about the current situation. Until we finish our preparations, Judith and the Knights will do everything in their power to defend the Great Bridge.
That's a casual way to dole out such a deadly mission, boy.
Do you object?
Just who do you think I am? I won't let the Empire pass this way, even if it costs me my life.
Too bad you're not allowed to die. Fight like your life depends on it, but flee if you're ever truly in danger.
A tall order, as always. I'll use my best discretion, Claude.
We have no objections either. Go forth and secure us a sufficiently powerful army.
I'll stay here too. The only ones I'd be going home to are my little sis and my grandpa.
Are you sure you don't want to see your sister? It may be a while before you can return home again.
But if I see her, I may not want to come back. So I'll wait till I'm done here.
Actually, I'd like for you to come with me, Teach, to help negotiate with the lords. They're followers of the Church of Seros, after all. It'll make things easier if we have someone there to speak on Rhea's behalf. All right, everyone. Let's meet back at the monastery next month. Good luck out there.
Is that you, kiddo?
I have returned, Nardell.
Oh, Master Claude, it's you. I mistook you for one of the local children. My apologies.
It seems you have adjusted to your work here. Our recent strategy was successful, thanks to you.
I was a bit concerned when House Goneril's army intervened from the east.
Count Gloucester must have requested reinforcements from them.
Yes, and they have that young general who won some acclaim from his battles in Elmira. Regardless, they showed no signs of seriously wishing to attack us, and merely fulfilled their obligations to House Gloucester. Now then, who is this lovely lady?
This is my professor, who I asked to join me at the Roundtable Conference. Teach, this is Nardell, that retainer Judith was talking about.
You'll make me blush if you keep staring like that, though I suppose people like me are something of a rarity here.
As you can see, he wasn't born in Fodlan. Still, trust me when I say he is highly capable.
True! In fact, my capability is my only redeeming quality. I hope you'll continue to look after Master Claude, Professor.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Great Tree Moon. Blood of the Eagle and Lion. Now in control of the Great Bridge of Myrden, the Alliance Army invades the Imperial territories. In response, the Imperial Army garrisons soldiers at Fort Mercius.
All of that went about as well as it could have. Each lord has agreed to provide us with soldiers and supplies.
I'm impressed you were able to convince all of those scattered nobles to help us. I thought they would quarrel about how much support they should each provide. That's what they usually do.
Well, Count Gloucester took the initiative in taking on responsibilities. I presume that was because you spoke with him in advance, Lawrence.
I merely explained the situation at hand. Then my father simply followed your lead, Claude. It was because you had the professor there to represent Lady Rhea. My father is a pious follower of the Church of Seros.
I don't doubt it. I wasn't under the delusion that it was my personal charm that unified everyone. Thanks for that, by the way. I hope you don't feel like I used you, because I sort of used you. I understand. You're having a hard time adjusting to your new role, aren't you? You weren't even a follower of Seros to begin with, and somehow you've ended up as a representative of the Church. I realize that you might feel guilty about deceiving the believers for our cause. But this is just what the Archbishop wanted, and she's the highest authority in the Church. Besides, as wielder of the Sword of the Creator, it's undeniable that you're special. I think you should be more confident in yourself and use your position to the fullest.
I have news. Our enemy is gathering troops at Fort Mercius. Their army is immense, likely led by a renowned general, or perhaps even...
Perhaps. But she's more than that now. She's the actual Emperor. If we can defeat her, the Empire will collapse.
There's something else. An unidentified army has approached the Great Bridge of Myrden. They passed through the Daphne and Gloucester territories from the northwest with incredible speed. They're raising the banner of House Blathid. Perhaps they are the remnants of the Fargus royal family. From what we could tell, they posed no threat to the citizens of the Alliance, and so we refrained from engaging them in needless combat.
Maybe they hope to fight against the Empire to avenge their fallen prince. And what about the bridge itself?
Obviously, we wouldn't let them pass without receiving envoys first. We thought they may try to force their way through. We considered firing warning arrows, but they left immediately, heading east.
Are they intending to use one of the bridges in Ordelia territory?
Most likely. But the Imperial Army still controls those bridges. I can't imagine what they intend to do in the Empire, even if they do manage to break through.
I'm reluctant to ease up on our surveillance, but it would be difficult to track them there. For now, let's assume they're just troops belonging to the Old Kingdom. In any case, we should proceed with caution. Soon we'll be entering Empire territory ourselves. If our enemies are going to intercept us with an attack, it will probably be at Gronder Field. How fitting that it was the site of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion 5 years ago.
When undertaking research, the usual method is to form a hypothesis, then test it with experiments. Those experiments reveal facts and falsehoods, yet sometimes they also unveil an exception. You seem to be that exception when it comes to my crest research. Worry not, Professor. Exceptions are what make my work interesting. Why don't the rules apply to you? I will find out eventually. I feel it is my destiny as a crest scholar.
After we cross the Great Bridge of Murden, we'll be in my father's territory. We actually crossed it 5 years ago for the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, remember? Oh, this is terrifying. What am I gonna do? I gotta get a grip. Oh, no. You should pray we don't run into him at all. The front lines cover a long stretch of land, you know?
So the Boar Prince is dead. Decapitated, I hear. I haven't seen the severed head myself. Perhaps he's still alive and leading that army. You're right. I can't let my emotions take hold. Either way, a major battle awaits us. Try not to die. I'd be annoyed if you did.
So, the campaign continues, does it? Well, allow me, as a professional recluse with 10 years of experience, to volunteer for, staying behind. Oh, who am I kidding? The fighting won't stop until we've defeated Edelgard, will it? Or until we lose, I guess. But there's not much use in thinking about that.
I'm a graduate of the Golden Deer House, but that was a little before your time, Professor. We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Of course, we mostly have Holst to thank for that. And now he's the greatest general in the Alliance. I didn't do so great in comparison.
We might see Edelgard herself leading the enemy in the next battle. If they're coming out of Fort Mercius, our troops might even clash on Gronder Field. And those other troops on the march. Who knows what they'll do, or what side they'll take. Not sure how we're supposed to form a strategy with so many unknowns. Hey, how come you only ever flatter me in times like these? What am I supposed to make of that? Anyway, we've come this far. Let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see how far we get.
The Great Bridge of Murden was considerably better fortified than it was 5 years ago. The bridge was full of soldiers, and they all died.
Claude was saying that our next battle might be in Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course that was a very different time. When it was over, all 3 class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we?
Reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. Good. We have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
I gotta keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Burgleys. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all!
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is minister of the Imperial household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
I've cut all contact with my family since joining this fight. Were I to see soldiers of the Galatea family amidst the host flying the royal family's banner, well, all chance of reconciliation with my father would end there. I do not know if that is the right path, but the fact is, I've come this far. There's no time for second-guessing. Not anymore.
Beyond the Great Bridge of Myrden, it's all unfamiliar territory for us. We don't know where Lady Rhea's being held. We ought to investigate all potential locations thoroughly. The Knights of Seiros will handle the search. We'll report back if we learn anything.
Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Mercius. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you. I heard that some unidentified troops have appeared, but apparently they were flying the flag of the Fargus royal family. Do you think it was Dimitri's ghost? His country was taken before he ever wore the crown. Surely he must regret that.
Claude seems filled with confidence, but I wonder if everything really will be okay. The Imperial army might be hiding the Emperor, and the troops headed south might belong to the Old Kingdom. I'll be honest, I'm incredibly uneasy about all of this. But at this point, there's no option but to move forward.
I trust you and Claude, but I feel uneasy. If we lose in the next battle, the Empire's army will likely come surging into Alliance territory. If that happens, my parents won't escape unharmed. They've raised their anti-Imperial flag after all. You're right. I chose my path. I must press on. That's all anyone can do, really. Speaking with you has eased my mind a bit. Just enough, in fact, to put me in the mood for sweets.
I seem to lack the skills required to grieve for the dead.
If someone has passed, even someone dear to me, I could stand about and wail or get on with my life. While I'm at it, that whole idea that we must speak well of the dead, I don't understand that either. If I didn't like them when they were alive, then why pretend to do so when they are no longer here?
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? I am glad you have not forgotten. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday.
We captured the Great Bridge of Murden, but the fight has only just begun. Enbar, the Imperial capital, lies far to the south beyond Gronder Field. And waiting for us on the way there is the entire Imperial army, with twice as many troops as us. We had better brace ourselves.
Thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Murden at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan, a historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. I never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest. If you don't mind me saying, you don't look like you're in the middle of a crisis either. Oh, perhaps that was a little rude of me? Actually, it's the Great Tree Moon now, isn't it? Not that anyone's in much of a mood to celebrate the new year, of course.
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. Hey, come on. Even I know we can't do that. Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them. That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
If we defeat the Imperial army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Mercius, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? I'm sure it's already occurred to Claude, though.
Since little Claude became their leader, the Alliance Lords haven't been especially unified. Now they're suddenly united for a common cause. As a result, the Empire hasn't been able to perform even one successful incursion. Rather, we're the ones who might get the jump on them. It's incredible. Magical, even. Maybe his strategic genius was simmering for those 5 years, and it returned to a full boil once you two were reunited. Or maybe he always knew he'd meet you again, and he was preparing for that this whole time.
The time's come to fight the Empire, huh? Wow, it's shaping up to be quite the battle. And I've got no problem with that, but that mystery army really worries me. There's no indication if they're friend or foe. Who do you think they are, Professor?
Not unless he rose from the grave to secure revenge. That would mean... Actually, I have no idea what that would mean. Well, whoever they are, I hope we can avoid fighting them.
House Gloucester has changed its allegiance and joined the faction that is against the Empire. The Alliance will thus remain united. But thanks to this latest ploy, my father is more suspicious of Claude now than ever, if such a thing is possible. Ordinarily, I might credit his helpful posture toward us to his devout faith in the Church of Seros. But it is clear to me now that this is nothing more than a shrewd calculation on his part. He is only thinking of his position. We are in the clear for now, but please bear in mind that the Alliance is never an entirely stable union.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
We secured the win in our first skirmish, but the next battle is a different matter. The Empire will come after us with everything it's got. Even so, the ultimate victory will be ours. And I'm not just saying that. I've made ample preparations to ensure our victory. It's my rule to never leave victory to chance. You can't rely on the protection of the goddess. With your power and my schemes, I should be able to plot a direct course to victory.
So, we're finally invading Empire territory, huh? There's not much we can do right now, except pray for deliverance. I truly believe that we have it in us to succeed.
If this mysterious military force is the remnants of the kingdom, you'd think there would have been the possibility of a united front. But from what I've heard, that's going to be difficult. Their behavior is very erratic. If they're clamoring for revenge and death, then it's probably better if we have nothing to do with them.
Nobles who are changing allegiance again and again. I do not have understanding for that. How can you trust if treason comes with ease? How can you be calling yourself a noble? I do not have understanding of the reasoning. Survival has more importance than that. Are they not knowing this?
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The Great Tree Moon is finally upon us. It's time to celebrate a new year. We only get so many. Folks up top don't seem to be in the mood to celebrate, though. I hate war.
I hurt my leg in the last battle. Had to take shelter down here. Nowhere else to go. Be careful up there. All sides are bringing their strongest people to this fight. Count Burgleys in the Empire, Lord Holst in the Alliance. I'm sure the Kingdom's got someone too.
It seems the Alliance has avoided becoming nothing but a glorified battlefield. I may have cut ties with my family, but I'll admit, I'm still worried about how they're faring. For now, at least, my little bro has managed to keep them afloat. He's a good leader, that one.
What a pain. What an absolute pain.
We're fighting people we used to know from the Officers' Academy. Guess that's the kind of thing that happens in war, but still, it's pretty twisted. It makes me feel so... Ugh. Maybe I'll just try not to think about it.
My rule is never to play my hand if I can't win. That's why I'm here. To win. This is my life on the line. Don't let me down, yeah? In the end, I'm the one who decided to be a part of this. So it's my own fault if things go south.
I used to be a rather important person in the church, but I am in exile for committing a crime. I embezzled some money, but it wasn't out of greed. My hometown was pillaged, you see, and the church wasn't putting in enough to rebuild.
Across the bridge is Burgley's territory. It marks the start of our incursion into the Empire. Worry not. I feel no trepidation as we do this. Mark how my spellcraft carries us through to Envar, heart of the Empire.
Gronder Field should be around here, right? But it's so foggy. Even if there were enemies here, we'd never know it. I recall the terrain from the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, but without the ability to see the enemy's formation.
Our enemies are subject to the same conditions. We'll just have to wait for the fog to clear up.
Speaking of enemies, what do you think became of those unidentified troops? Any follow-up reports?
We haven't heard anything since. If they were headed this way... Well, I'd like to avoid being caught by surprise, but we can't make use of our scouts because of this fog. It's hard to predict this fight. There's no way to know what will happen. Of course, the morale of our allies would be crushed if we let them see us shaking in our boots. Your guidance is going to be crucial, Teach, now more than ever. Do whatever it takes to lead us to victory.
Departing from the Great Bridge of Murden, the Alliance Army marches south toward Enbar, the imperial capital. As an unknown military force begins their advance under the banner of the kingdom, the Imperial Army dispatches forces from Fort Mercius with the intention of intercepting them. The curtain is rising on a conflict between the three armies, which will come to be known as the Battle at Gronder, held on the same plains that witnessed the Battle of the Eagle and Lion.
I will crush anyone who blocks my path.
Dmitri, he's alive. But he doesn't look interested in joining forces with us.
It would not be advantageous to take on both at once. We must stop the Kingdom and the Alliance from joining forces. I will create such chaotic warfare that they won't be able to tell who is friend and who is foe. Mounted units, advance!
They're abandoning the central position to attack us. How leisurely. You're interfering with the plan. Looks like I'll just have to get rid of you. Fighting on will endanger my life. Your Majesty, I must withdraw.
The Imperial army is starting to crumble. We will step on the Empire right along with the Alliance troops. To the eternal flames with all of them!
In the name of His Highness, you die here. I can still fight, Your Highness.
Shut up and retreat. You must live to do. You're not worth it. Get out of my sight.
Calm down, Dimitri. What does it achieve, us killing each other here?
Move, Claude. I have no time to exchange words with you.
It doesn't matter what I'm saying, does it? You aren't even listening. But I'm not gonna budge.
Are you trying to stop me too? Then I'll just have to kill you! Where are you, Edelgard? I will not stop until I kill you!
This is not as I planned, but there's nothing to be done. Burn the central hill. I will destroy both the Kingdom and the Alliance, now, with one fell swoop.
We haven't seen each other since Garreg Mach. You've grown lovelier than ever, Edelgard.
You're not so unfortunate yourself, and you have the aid of the Professor. Frankly, I'm jealous. Now's the chance for you and the Professor to leave.
I'm afraid I must decline. Even if we left, we just have to come right back.
I knew when next we met, one of our paths would have to come to an end. Your journey ends here, Professor. Forever. I lost. Just as expected, you aren't making my path an easy one. I must retreat for now. We'll meet again on the battlefield.
Even in an ugly battle like this, it's important not to lose heart. We have to take pride in our victory. We did it, Teach. Now we can move forward to our victory. So, Edelgard retreated. I suppose she lives to be defeated another day. Too close. But I suppose all that matters is that we won. Some of our allies are injured but can still fight. We'll just have to accept this outcome and press onward. Still, the battlefield looks awful. And I wonder what became of the Kingdom Army and Dimitri.
I saw him.
Who? Dimitri?
He was completely different from how I remember him. He looked like a crazed demon while he was fighting. He pursued Edelgard as she retreated, but he didn't get far before he collapsed. I saw him surrounded by Imperial troops and pierced by their spears. I'll never forget it. He deserved a better end.
Dmitri. He went through so much to make it here, only for his efforts to be in vain.
I can't even begin to understand what Dmitri must have been feeling, but there must have been some other way. Why did he have to go like that?
And his vassal, Dedu, and did he fall as well?
I don't know.
Your Highness. Your ambitions are my own now. I will bring you Edelgard's head. I swear it!
Professor, Claude, may I have a moment of your time?
Lysithea, what are you doing up this late? Trouble sleeping? Anyone would be shaken after such a brutal battle. If you're having trouble sleeping, you should drink some warm milk. That's a thing, right?
Must you treat me like a child, simply because I'm awake a bit later than usual? Actually, I can hardly muster any indignation right now. I wanted to tell you that I noticed something odd during that battle.
What was it?
There were some strange mages among the ranks of the Imperial Army. Did you notice them? That's right. I have seen people dressed just like that before. It was a long time ago. House Ardelia was involved in a rebellion that took place within the Empire 18 years ago. After it was quelled, all of the key officials were caught and put to death. The Empire sent replacements, who they used to take control of House Ardelia. Among the people sent by the Empire were mages dressed in black, just like those we saw in battle.
If they're Imperial mages, it makes sense that they would wear the same clothing, right?
Yes, but the mages from back then and today, I do not believe they are from the Adrestian Empire. No. I got the impression that they were from somewhere else, somewhere completely separate from Fodlin. There's more. Those mages imprisoned the children from my house and performed horrible rituals on them. Blood experiments.
Lysithea, you can't mean... even you?
Yes. All of the others were deemed failures. They all died. And even I... It doesn't matter. The point is that those monsters possess dreadful knowledge and power. I just thought you should know the sort of people who have allied with the Empire.
Blood experiments. Does that remind you of anything, Teach? Exactly. There was that secret group who abducted Flane and extracted her blood 5 years ago. The people involved back then were Tomas and Monica. Well, I suppose their true names were Solon and Kranya. So, that eerie group has been slithering behind the scenes in the Empire for a while now. Lysithea, thank you for sharing all of that with us. One day we will uncover the truth of who those people really are. We've managed to invade Empire territory and emerge victorious in our first battle. I hope to maintain our momentum and push onward to Enbar, the Imperial capital. Unfortunately, we are not legendary heroes in a fairy tale. Our stamina has limits. The longer we fight, the harder the fight will become. It will take immense effort to secure the supplies and soldiers we need to prevail.
Boy, you better not be saying this is as far as we go.
Of course not. However, the road ahead leads deep into enemy territory. It'll be a difficult journey, strewn with hardship. I can't guarantee that we'll make it out alive. If anyone wants to leave, now is the time to do it.
I shall accompany you to the very end. After all, someone must step up to take leadership should you fall.
I'm coming. The future of my village depends on this. Besides, I have to protect the professor. For Captain Gerald.
I'm not going anywhere. Because of the Empire, my little sis can't live in peace.
We can't leave the future of Fodlan to others. I'm sure that everyone here feels the same.
The Knights of Seros will keep fighting the Empire. We won't rest until we rescue Lady Rhea.
I feel the same as the Knights. I've got to rescue Lady Rhea no matter what.
So, what? We're all supposed to take turns saying we'll do our best until the very end? And what about you, Marianne? What will you do?
I'll fight too.
Fine. Fine. I suppose I'll tag along too, until the bitter end.
It's an honor to keep fighting alongside such stalwart allies. Right, Teach? I know I'm a great leader and all, but praising me isn't going to get you anywhere. All right. Now that I know where each of you stands, I'm going to return to Alliance territory for a while. I intend to report this victory to the Alliance Lords and draw out even more support from them. Our next battle will be even more challenging, so brace yourselves for that.
I should write to my brother. He'll want to hear about our victory.
Your brother, Lord Holst? How is he these days?
Oh, he's doing great. I even got a letter from him before the last battle. He wanted to come and join our fight too.
What's this? Lord Holst come here? That would be a most reassuring development.
Sadly, it sounds like my father was against the idea. They want him to stay in case they need to fight the Almirans.
Their logic is sound, though it is vexing that the Alliance's greatest general cannot join us on the front lines.
We should be glad that Holst is staying behind. Almira aside, there's also no guarantee that the Imperial forces won't try to launch a surprise attack from the Old Kingdom territory.
If you have something you need to talk to my brother about, I'd be happy to send a letter.
No, that's okay. I'm just glad to hear he's doing well. Please send him my regards.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Harpstring Moon. The Golden Scheme. Claude leverages his victory at the Battle of Gronder to secure reinforcements from Alliance lords. Meanwhile, the Imperial Army continues to tighten its defenses at Fort Mercius in anticipation of an attack on the Imperial capital.
Our objective is Enbar, the Imperial capital, but our greatest obstacle lies before that.
And what's that?
Fort Mercius. If we can't pass through, we won't be able to reach Enbar.
Fort Mercius, the impregnable fortress, or so it's called.
If I recall correctly, it's sometimes referred to as the Stubborn Old General.
It is a massive fortress that was constructed to protect the Imperial capital.
The Imperial army we defeated has withdrawn to Enbar. Fort Mercius should be short on soldiers for now.
It would be best to take it before enemy reinforcements arrive. Still, there's a reason it's been called impregnable. The only real question is what our fearless leader intends to do.
Sorry for the delay, everyone. Those mewling lords kept me from leaving for quite some time.
So, were you able to secure additional reinforcements?
It's gonna have to wait until next month. It doesn't look like they can afford to keep supporting us at present.
Then what should we do about Fort Mercius? Do you plan on waiting around?
No. If we wait until next month, the enemy will have bolstered their defenses. That said, the prevailing theory is that you need triple your enemy's forces to take a fortress with a frontal assault.
Right. That's what we were taught at the academy. And this is Fort Mercius we're talking about. It's renowned for its strong defenses.
Our current army isn't nearly strong enough. What to do?
Whatever you do, just don't ask us to scale those huge walls. We'd end up dead when they hurl rocks down at us.
Yeah, no thanks. If only someone would open up the gates for us from the inside.
Unfortunately, we don't have any spies in there. Wait a minute. I've got it. We sneak in, stir up confusion, and open the gates ourselves to let our allies in.
Right, that's what I was saying all along.
Right, nice one, Hilda. But how do you propose we go about sneaking in?
Disguises? If we dress up like Imperial soldiers, maybe they'll think we're allies and let us in.
Do you really think they'd just open the gates for us? I'd be pretty dumbfounded if that worked.
No, she's on to something. It's a good idea, Hilda. We just need to refine it a bit, and we'll be in there before we know it.
Really? Go me!
What is your definition of refining the idea? I know your go-to strategy is nausea-inducing poison, but...
Oh, I maybe ate too much. My stomach hurts.
Raphael, why are you eating meat during a war council?
So, fearless leader, I'm guessing you're going to keep the crucial parts of your scheme under wraps until the time comes, aren't you?
You know me so well, Judith. Whether we like it or not, this war puts a damper on all of our spirits. What's wrong with trying to have a little fun every now and again? Just leave the details to me.